If you clicked on today's video, it's because you may have been intrigued by the facade behind me. Well, that is correct. We are checking out brand new modern townhomes. Today, we are in Brandon, Florida, checking out Bloomingdale Towns by Mattamy Homes. What is going on, YouTube? If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. Yes, you heard it here first. We are checking out a brand new product from Mattamy Homes in one of the most desired areas in all of Tampa Bay. We are in the suburb of Brandon, but even more narrowed down, we are in the neighborhood of Bloomingdale, where everyone wants to be when we're talking the outskirts of Tampa. Bloomingdale is known for its high-rated schools, being in close proximity to downtown Tampa, as well as the Brandon Mall and other popular commercial districts. Mattamy Homes is offering a very unique product in the sense that these are extremely modern and they do not have a ton of competition, especially within the area, let alone the kind of product they're putting out. These townhomes are starting in the mid 300,000s, and we have two models we're going to get to see today. Before we jump into that, I want to hit pause real quick and remind you guys that I am a licensed agent in the state of Florida. So if you have real estate goals, questions, or dreams of moving to Florida, especially the Tampa Bay area, I would be honored to earn your real estate business and help you make your transition here as smooth as possible. So I'm going to drop my contact information on screen so you guys can get in touch, and please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here to be a resource for you. Now, it's clear that these look really nice from the outside, but I'm super eager to see if they hold up that standard as soon as we enter. Let's go. Okay, so this is the Sebring. Now, because it's a townhome, you don't have a large foyer like you do in some of the single family homes, but let me flip the camera and I'll talk you through the layout in this floor plan. All right, so upon entry here, you have your stairs immediately to the left, which I love, and we'll get to that in a second. But you enter and you have a space for a dining room. You have a fixture here that can hang, which gives you space to put your table. Now you come over here and it is a great room following the same motif we've seen all year from some of these builders, where your kitchen, dining room, and living room are all adjacent. I've learned recently that in Japan they call this LDK space. So living, dining, kitchen. Now your kitchen will have a small, almost, they have it staged as a dog area, but like there's a storage space underneath the stairs here. And then you would enter from your garage there. And then across the way into the kitchen, you have a small but still sizable pantry. Now you have a massive living space here, and it is kind of segmented from the rest of the room because since this wall ends right here, almost it's its own space, so you can still feel kind of secluded from the feng shui, the energy flowing from the other parts of the room. But off to the back here, you have a half bath, perfect for if you're entertaining guests, they can just come back here, do their business. And then you have a small linen or coat closet here. And then of course your screened in patio off the back here. And this is actually much bigger than some of the ones I've seen in the past. All right, now let's head upstairs. So as soon as we get to the top of the stairs to the right, you have a laundry room, and I love this because it's right at the top of the stairs, and as you'll see in a second, your primary bedroom is just here, but it's separated by this massive loft. And my favorite part about this floor plan is your primary is here. On the opposite side of the stairs, you have your two guest bedrooms, completely separate, completely private, giving you your privacy from primary, guest or master suite and your guest bedrooms. Now headed into the primary. Absolutely lovely. Then you have his, because it's smaller, and her walk-in closets. And this might be one of the most beautiful primary ensuite bathrooms that I've seen. Beautiful glass stand-up shower and toilet just there. Now we're back on the other side of the stairs, and look how gorgeous this guest bathroom is, adjacent to another guest bedroom. And these builders are doing a really good job of making a sizable walk-in closet even for the guest bedrooms. And the same thing applies into this other bedroom here. That's huge for a guest walk-in closet, I must say. So the Sebring is the larger of the two models we'll get to see today. However, they have a Venice, which is larger than this one. However, they only have 4 of those units left available within this community. So if you wanted a bigger floor plan, something bigger than what you're seeing here, then you would have to really be eager and get into this community and go under contract for one of those bigger Venice floor plans as soon as possible. We're going to jump over to the next and last model and see how it compares. Okay, so here in the Mariana, I have some likes, I have some dislikes. Let's flip the camera and I'll talk you through it. Okay, so first you have an actual foyer, which I do like. And then you enter the great room, again, LDK, living, dining, kitchen, except this one doesn't really have too much dining space. I guess theoretically you could put a dining table directly against the wall here and maybe have 1, 2, 3, 4 chairs. But again, that would take up quite a lot of space and the feng shui does not move so well as you come directly through the front door. However, over here, you do have the same little nook, enter through the garage, and then your half bath is here at the front, opposed to at the back, like in the last model. And then as you come through the kitchen, you have a pantry underneath the stairs, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I guess still good utilization of making sure all the space within the home is used. Now, going through the living room here, your screened-in patio is to the back again, very similar in size to the last one, and your stairs are at the back of the home. And right at the top of the stairs, you do have a small loft here, and I'm not a huge fan that the upstairs bit is very compact. It is a split floor plan like the last one, where your primary is here and your guest is here. Well, actually, it's flipped, but we'll enter the primary now. And as you can see, it's quite small, but still very well decorated. You got dual split vanities, again, stand-up shower, and a much smaller walk-in closet than we've been used to. I guess something that does help the fact that you have such a small walk-in closet there is you have another one here and then also one here roughly about the same size. So still a little more room for storage for your clothes. All right, now coming back across the loft, you have another guest bathroom. Must say this bathroom's like almost one of the biggest in the house. And then you have your laundry room across the hall from what could be a bedroom. They have it staged as an office, but there is a closet there. So technically is a bedroom. And then your final guest bedroom is on this side facing the front of the home, but again, split from the primary on the opposite side of the house with another walk-in closet. All right, so the sales consultant did just tell me that the amenities are now open. They do have a community pool exclusive to the very few townhomes they've built within this gated community. And while I walk down there, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the fees associated with living here. So within Bloomingdale Towns, as with any townhome community, you do have an HOA fee of $293 per month. And that of course is gonna cover your basic utilities as well as access to the pool. Now there is a few one-time capital expenditure fees that they are requiring. There's one for $750, one for $250, and one for $50. All HOA requirements. So you're paying $1,050, but that's all going to be incorporated into your closing costs. And those are both one-time fees, so you don't have to account for those month over month. Now, I thought pulling into here that this was a boutique community, because when you pull in, you only see a very few units right at the front here. But as you come back, this street loops and goes all the way down. And as you can see, they're under construction for what looks like another 6 to 8 units. And they've finished all the other units all the way down the street. And it's a dead end down there. So a very tight-knit, exclusive community, but still a lot more inventory available than what you might think when you first pull in here. All right, so now we're at the pool. And I'm just gonna flip the camera, show you guys what it looks like in here. It's nothing too crazy, but I did want to give you guys a look at that because it's of course one of the things you're paying for within this community and something you're going to get to enjoy with you and your family. Now, I stopped into this community today by surprise. I was actually meant to go do videos over at Barrington Preserve by Homes by West Bay. However, their model wasn't open yet, so I couldn't film any content in there. But I'm actually glad I came here. We featured a builder we hadn't seen in a long time, and they're actually putting out a modern and really sleek looking product. With that being said, there's not a whole lot more I can tell you about this community other than you're right in the middle of Brandon, very close to both I-75 to get you north and south, and then I-4 to get you east and west into Tampa and over to Lakeland and Orlando. If you have questions about this community or just new construction in general, or you're thinking about moving to Florida, especially the Tampa Bay area, again, I'm a licensed agent in the state of Florida, so I would be honored to earn your real estate business and always be a resource to you. So I'm gonna drop my contact information on screen one more time so you can get in touch, and do not hesitate to reach out. I'm always readily available. One last thing I wanna mention before I head out is I'm gonna drop links to both my Tampa relocation guide as well as my guide to buying new construction homes in the description of this video. So please grab those. They're free to download and be a resource for you. So don't hesitate to go grab those and reach out with any questions. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to go down, like, comment, hit that subscribe button, because it genuinely helps me continue to create more content like this for you guys. So with that being said, I'm gonna head out. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Peace.